you're not, then welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing my first Polygel nail set. I did do something like a Polygel nail set at school on a classmate for practice, but okay, so I tried. I don't want to badmouth them, so I'm not going to say the name of the school, but let me just say, and it also could have just been my semester, but let me just say that everything I've learned about nails, everything that I've done in the 3 years of my nailing experience with press-ons and even doing physical people's nails, I learned from YouTube University and TikTok Technical Institute, okay? I refer everybody there. They taught me everything I know. They come through every time. But if y'all want to know anything about my schooling experience and more about that, then let me know. I can go ahead and tell y'all a story in a different video. But yeah, I don't want to get too much into that on this video. Let's go ahead and get into these nails. So this is a ROSALIND gel nail polish kit, and they did reach out to me to do a review on this kit. So I will be using this kit on this set. It's just in a part 2 of this video because Apple was not letting me do what I need to do with storage. It wasn't letting me live, so I had to do a part 2. So this part 1 is just basically the polygel application and me trying to mess with that because it was a challenge for real. So these are the polygels that I'm going to use, and I'll just be applying the polygel in this video. And if you guys want to see how I shape and how I design these nails, that's going to be in part 2, so make sure y'all go right over and watch part 2. I'm not going to make y'all wait. They'll be uploaded at the same time. It's not that type of party. It's just the fact that I could not get it all on my iPad at the same time because the storage was tripping. So yeah, let's get into these nails. I don't know much about polygel, but I have been watching a lot of videos, and I have seen that a lot of the companies that have polygel, the tubes are not full. There's a lot of air in the tubes and you don't get a lot of product. But with this ROSALIND polygel set, I did notice that the tubes are full. Like, you get a lot of product. They are only 2-ounce tubes, but I do believe that they're the full 2 ounces. You can't see in the bottle because they're black, but I do believe that it's the full 2 ounces because there's not a lot of air in there. You get your money's worth as far as the product goes. Okay, so like I told y'all, everything that I know comes from YouTube University or TikTok Technical Institute. So lately I've been watching a lot of nails by Vic. If you don't know her, make sure y'all go follow her because she is the GOAT when it comes to polygel nails. Like, when I say anything you could do with acrylic, you could do with polygel, and I wouldn't have known it if I hadn't seen her slay the nails that she slayed, the way that she slayed when she slayed these nails. She is the truth. So yeah, go over and watch her. So basically what I've learned is you basically prep the same. She does do a lot of pop-off methods, but when she wants to leave them on, you basically prep the same. So I did prep the same. I did use dehydrator. I used primer. On a normal acrylic set, of course, you go in and you just start applying the acrylic. But because we're doing a polygel set, after we do the primer, after we do the dehydrator, you want to go in and add a base coat. I never use my base coats. You have sets that come with base and top coat. I never use the base coat. Wait, I'm lying, y'all. Sometimes I use the base coat when I want to put little decals and things like that into the nail and encapsulate after that just to hold it down. And I do that because I know that I'm not wasting top coat, and I know that it's going to get covered up, so it doesn't matter about the tacky layer. So yeah, I basically just use the base coat for that. You want to use the base coat before you apply the polygel. So after you prep the nail with the dehydrator and the primer, you use the base coat. I got this brush from school. It's a Tammy Taylor Sculpt Duo brush. It's a gel brush. I don't know what this end is for, but the other end is just a regular brush. I use that brush to clean up my cuticle area when I'm painting. I also use it to paint on gel colors. I do have those Venalisa paint pots that I mentioned in one of my previous videos. So if I need to paint a whole nail of a color that I don't have in a paint bottle, I'll use those sometimes, and I'll just use this brush to paint it on there. So yeah, I got this little tray from Dollar Tree. I think it came with like 6 of them in here. And I just noticed that when you use polygel, you have excess sometimes and it doesn't cure or dry. So I just wanted to be able to have something to sit that polygel in so I can use it on the next nail. I also seen that she uses 91% isopropyl alcohol as the slip agent for these polygel nails. But I also have this Tammy Taylor sculpting slipping agent. The ROSALIND polygel did not actually come with a slipping agent, so I'm going to use the isopropyl alcohol and I'm going to use the Tammy Taylor one just to see if there's a difference. So right here I'm just adding the base coat before I go in and start to sculpt my polygel. I'm using the ROSALIND polygel in the color Soft Pink. It's kind of like a really light bubblegum color. When it cures or when it dries, I know it looks really pink on here, but it's really not that pink. It gets lighter than that. So yeah, but it's a really pretty color. I think it's an okay color for a cover color. I think it's, you know, depending on the skin tone, I think it could be really good for a cover color. Okay, so I had the hardest time with this nail. I actually had a hard time with all of the nails, but it got easier as I went on. The product is runny. I think based on what I've watched, it's better to have polygel that doesn't run too much. It kind of stays in place, but it's still able to be manipulated. And this was not that, okay? So I think that if I use this in the future, just with the little knowledge that I have, the practice that I've had, I think you have to do like 3 layers, you know, just because if you do try to do the whole nail, the cuticles are going to flood while you're working on the tip of the nail. They're just going to keep flooding and keep flooding and keep flooding. And by the time, like, I don't know, by the time you kind of get a shape, most of the product that you've put on there, or I know that it worked this way with me, most of the product that I put on there was gone. You've seen that I put a lot of product on there, but now it's barely got anything on there. I wiped most of it off, you know, because I'm shaping and I'm sculpting, but it keeps flooding. So I think that once I went on, I found that it was better if I just applied it to the tip first, like I would do, not necessarily, yeah, like I would do an acrylic nail, you know, apply it from the middle to the tip, shape it, cure it, and then go on from there. The thumbnail was much better. It was the second attempt at this, but it was definitely a much better attempt. I don't know if it had anything to do with the angle that I had to hold my hand or what, but and the fact that I had a little bit of practice with the first nail. If you can see, the first nail doesn't even have an apex. I just got tired and said, forget this, and moving on. But the thumbnail was a lot easier. The product was the same. It was a little runny, just like the pink one was. So it didn't have anything to do with the product. It's just, I don't know. I think that by this time I was a little bit more able to manipulate the product and I got used to it a little bit. But there's also the factor of me working with my non-dominant hand. So this process took a lot longer than what it needed to because I was working with my left hand. But yeah, I think the white, I don't know, it could have been a little bit more easier to manipulate than the pink, but in my opinion, I don't think so. I think that both of them were runny. I just, by this time, had got the hang of it. And I did it in a couple different layers rather than just try to put it all on at once. The thumbnail turned out really good, and it was a simpler process than the first nail. I did add another bead to this because I needed a cuticle bead, but I didn't put that on camera because, again, the iPad was tripping with the storage, so I could only do so much when it came to the video. But yeah, I really liked how the thumb turned out. So now that I've spent 2 hours on the pointer finger and the thumb finger, I've moved on to the ring finger, and the process is getting easier, okay? I've noticed at this point that it's easier to just do the tip and work my way up. I'm working slow and steady, I'm not rushing it. But I also have to keep moving because this product, again, is runny and I don't want my apex to be at the tip of the nail, but I'm getting the hang of it. So just like with acrylic, with polygel, the cuticles are going to be the death of me, okay? The cuticles are the hardest part of life. And I don't know if it's because I started with press-on nails, but the cuticles are very hard, especially when you have this product, like it's runny just like, I guess, acrylic, but you have to finish the rest of the nail. So when you go back, it's running again. It's just, I don't know. But I learned a little tip. Remember I said I didn't know what to do with the tip of that brush? Well, I found that if I just go around the cuticle area one time with this, wipe it off, clean it up with this, it's just one swipe and done. One and done. Seriously, one and done. I know y'all don't believe me, but look, I just did it one time, one around, that was done. Then I just shaped up the side again because it kind of knocked off the side a little bit. But yeah, I think that the tip of this brush was perfect. So if you guys can find something like that, if you're having trouble with your cuticles and you can find something like the tip of this, it's just like a little rubber piece, and to just wipe around like that, I think it'll be perfect because it was chef's kiss to the rest of this set, okay? I didn't fight with the cuticles anymore. I just used that and moved on. Okay, so the clear polygel. What to say? Tis. It was trash, okay? It was trash. It made the process 10 times harder. Once I got past one obstacle, I moved on to the next one. This was trash, okay? I will never, ever use this polygel again. If I do, it'll probably be for some type of design, like, those little 3D designs that they're doing now with the chrome on it, like it looked like a freaking snake crawling on your finger, something like that, because this polygel is so hard to manipulate. And you seen that it was new. I just opened it and it was so hard to manipulate. So the whole time I've been using the Tammy Taylor slipping agent with the first finger and the thumb finger, and even on this first part of using the clear, I used the Tammy Taylor. And yeah, I had to switch it up to the alcohol because I'm like, maybe it'll be different, but it wasn't. It was not different. It was the same. Yeah, it was the same. I'm using all of these little decals and some iridescent flakes, some little gold hearts and stuff. I just want to encapsulate that inside of the clear to see how that works. I didn't want to just do anything simple with the polygel. I wanted to actually try to play with it a little. So yeah, we're going to try to encapsulate a bunch of stuff on this middle nail and see what we can do. Okay, so you get to see for yourself that this clear is trash. It's not even moving. It's not even moving. Like, it's not doing anything. Like, so, yeah, I don't recommend the clear. I don't recommend the clear. I do think that my strategy, even with acrylic, I think that if you work with the cheap acrylics and you learn how to manipulate those, then once you get the acrylics that cost a little bit more money, you won't be wasting your product because you don't know what you're doing. And you're also, I feel like you'll be a master because it's easier to manipulate the more expensive product. That's what they say. You know, that's why they like it, right? So if you can manipulate the hard shit, then once you move on to the more expensive things, you know what to do. Like, you'll be able to handle it better because you were messing with the stuff that wasn't high end. You know how to work it now. So I think that this is a good set for a good polygel set for beginners because you learn how to manipulate, work fast, and then I feel like you can move on to more expensive polygels, and you will already know what to do and how to manipulate the product. It actually probably be surprising for you. But if you start with a product that's more expensive and it's easy for you to work with, if you decide to buy a product later that's less expensive, it's going to be trash to you, when in actuality it just needs a different type of love. That's all. Again, I'm not an expert on polygel application. I'm not an expert on polygel anything, okay? But just my opinion from working with it this particular time, I don't think that it's a good product, or this brand is a good product. I think that it's okay to practice with because it's cheap, but after that, I just think that it'll save you so much more time to just try something different that doesn't run as much. That's all. Like, you don't want to waste all of your time trying to clean up the cuticles over and over and over and over. Like, oh my gosh, it's a headache. So yeah, I don't recommend it per se, but if you want to practice, I think that it can help you gain good control over your polygel application when you start practicing with this. Okay, so now you guys get to see for yourselves the difference is nothing, okay? I switched over. Now I'm using 91% alcohol and not the Tammy Taylor, and it's still the same consistency. Nothing changed. It still won't move. So yeah, it's the clear ROSALIND polygel is a 0 out of 10 for me. It's not working. It gets stuck in the brush. It's really dry. It's not what it is. So that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will be coming back with more polygel videos. Again, this is just the beginning of the journey. You guys are going through this with me, so I know that it's going to get better. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and make sure you guys go subscribe so you don't miss any of the new content that I post. If you guys want to see how I shape these nails and how I decided to design these nails, then make sure you go watch part 2. And thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.